now you're in Professor Windlenot's office, study. Again, you can just search around, looking at certain artifacts and letters and like this map on the wall, for example. Your first sort of vessel, if you like, or part of a vessel, I think what Professor Windlenot calls the talisman, is actually in this drawer. Alright, so that's at the top part, if you like. And if you put it on the eye, you can actually look at it more close up. And if you want it to spin, you just have to put the cursor, oh, hang on, sort of at this side and leave it there and it will spin. So then obviously the other half is somewhere else in the museum and you just have to find it. There's a letter here. Someone thanking Hubert for resigning from the Royal Society and avoiding the shame of being publicly dismissed. Obviously, he wasn't very popular with a lot of people. There's also a recorder on the desk as well that you can have a little bit of a listen to. Actually, it has a bit of a dramatic ending and it's not very long, so actually I will play it to you guys just so you can have a listen.
30th of September 1980. Returning from Africa, I discovered something profoundly disturbing. Someone has been here. Furniture has been tipped over, and the book Egyptian Hieroglyphics Explained, not in its place in the library, but face down here on the office floor. And oddly, one of the pages is torn out. And I feel the presence of... I'm not sure. I must investigate the second floor. The puzzles. When I created them, I never stopped to think they would be an obstacle in the event of some terrible occurrence. The Ixupi. Someone has released them from their vessels. Never has anything been so evil. A name written in the lift. Merrick. Who is he? One of the missing youngsters? Here in my museum? If so, are they both here? Can they still be alive? Evil entities attacking from everywhere, robbing me of my life essence. I can't seem to find the right vessel for each Ixupi. Without it, they can't be captured. Without it, I am doomed. Get back! Get back! Get out of my museum! Oh, I wish I never brought you here.
So there you go. Professor Windlenot suddenly being attacked by an Ixupi, and he brought them here in the first place thinking it'd be fine because they're safe because they're trapped inside. And then, as I say, two teenagers, Merrick and Beth, got into the museum 15 years prior to us being here now, and yeah, released them all. There you go. So there's Merrick, there's Beth. This is the boy who's been following me. So they were missing for ages. But I'm not going to say much more because I'll spoil it. But it is a great storyline. Okay, now, to give you an idea, when I said about if you hear something moving near you, be careful. Fireplace, listen. Hear that? Hear the ashes kind of, you know. If you stay there for too long, it will fly out at you. And because we haven't got the other half of this yet, you would have another piece of your life essence stolen. So be careful that you don't hang too close to that for too long, at least until you've got the other half. Now if we go to the right, again being careful of the fireplace, this is basically the workshop. And there is a puzzle in this room, but what I'm not going to do is going to really do any of the puzzles as such because it will take way too long and this is not a playthrough. So the puzzle basically is to open certain drawers and leave others shut, and then the key will glow and actually then a cupboard underneath will open up and give you another sort of part of a vessel. It's not the other half we're looking for on here because they're scattered everywhere. You have to be able to work it out for yourself if you like, but if you're not sure what drawers to open, there is a piece of paper on here that gives you some help. So it kind of tells you what ones you should sort of open and stuff. There's also sometimes an Ixupi in there. If you hang around there too long, it comes out at you. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not. That's the only other thing with this game. When you're trying to find and capture a certain Ixupi, there's normally sort of 3 places that they each tend to hide, and sometimes they're in it and sometimes they're not. So you might kind of put 2 parts of a vessel together and you kind of know what kind of, you know, Ixupi you're supposed to be trapping, whether it's the wax Ixupi, for example, and you kind of think, well, it'll either be in a candle, but then it also might be here or here or here, and you'll always bet your luck that it won't be in the first 2 you check and it'll be in the last place you look. So they tend to move about the museum, and there are sometimes that fireplace doesn't have anything in it, and normally it does, and you have to try and find where it's gone. So it's quite tricky, but you know, if you really stick at it, you can get it done. There's also another secret elevator, just in case you didn't know. Whoa, underneath the tapestry there. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want this video to go on too long. But the elevator takes you up to Professor Windlenot's bedroom. So yeah. Right, let's just show you the main part of the museum. And again, I love this music. See? All the music is so creepy, but it's the right kind of creepy, do you know what I mean? So here's the main sort of foyer, if you like. But graphic-wise, for its time, it's just awesome. You can turn this on as well. Now again, this is where the water Ixupi tends to hide, and again, if you don't have the right vessel, don't hang around there too long because it will jump out at you. But then sometimes it's not there, sometimes it's in a different part of the museum in some other bits of water. So again, it's not easy because they tend to move, but you know, you do get more of an idea as you go through. There's also another part of a vessel in, in the middle one here. Snakes. So again, they're both top parts, so they're obviously not going to fit together. In here, each room of the museum has a particular name, and there are playthroughs and walkthroughs and strategy guides online that will tell you, but because I haven't got one sort of near me, this is obviously like the insects kind of room. I think it's called like insects and beasts room or something. That's not quite right, but you've got like dinosaurs and all sorts and stuff. There's a ladder here as well you can climb up. Sometimes there is like a vessel there. And then like through here is again another room that comes off. There you go. That is the other half of the vessel. So now I could actually capture that Ixupi that was in the fireplace. And I know it's the fireplace one because I've obviously played this before. But you do pick up eventually where they tend to hide, because not every Ixupi is going to go in any vessel. It has to be a particular Ixupi in a particular hiding place and a particular vessel. And if you don't marry all those together and get it right, it won't work. So it's not just a case of, you know, you can just go through this quite quickly. You've got to really think about it. In fact, before we leave here, there's another side as well. These become significant as well. These skulls, you have to set them in each room to a particular colour. And if you get all the colours right, at the end of the game, it opens up sort of the final door, if you like. This is like subterranean world, I believe. And again, there's a puzzle in here, which I won't do, but there's a puzzle here with the globe. You've got to set that to certain coordinates. And there's another one as well where you have to play the siren, which is this melody here. eerie, but actually beautiful at the same time. Like really kind of relaxing, but still very, very creepy. And then you have to play that melody on this organ, etc. And then it opens up another door, which takes you down into the underground maze, if you like, behind there. Okay, so shall we trap our first Ixupi? So if we go back to the office, are you ready? Would you believe it? He's disappeared. He's moved. You know, I said that earlier, they move sometimes. Now that I'm ready to capture him, he goes and moves. So actually, we can't. So I'll go and show you a few more rooms, and then fingers crossed before we end the video, he'll come back, because they move about, and I'll be able to capture him. You heard the fireplace make the noise earlier, but not now. He's disappeared. Ugh. Right, through here's the library. Really relaxing piece of music, this one. Not creepy as such, just very kind of ethereal, if you like, and quite soothing. Hear that? Hear that? In the wax candle, there's your wax Ixupi. Now some of these books you can read. And again, some of them become flashbacks. They become very important, and so do they later on when you get to this sort of astrology kind of room. And also, these are quite good in terms of helping you work out on each of the Ixupi vessels, because they've all got these pictures on them, which kind of Ixupis need to be caught in that particular vessel. So for example, if you've got a vessel that's got this on the front, you then know that you need to capture the Ixupi to go in that vessel from a source of water. And like this one, for example, like I've got, there you go, for ashes. So then you know it's to do with fireplaces or kind of that kind of thing that you need to be capturing in that vessel. So this is one of the most important books you'll probably have, actually. And that's where that book that was with the corpse, when we got to the boat that he had in his hand, that's where he took it from and then ended up perishing, and he had it obviously in his hand. It was originally on that stand. You can also go up a bit higher in the library. You can move the ladder. And now you can get higher up and you can actually reveal another part of a vessel in here. Oh, you can once you move the book, sorry. It's a bit freaky, but we're going to keep that because obviously we want to try and capture that. Go back down. Now there's also another secret bit at the back of the library which has the weirdest piece of music you will ever probably hear in your life. But we'll go for it anyway, and I'm going to say nothing. Just take it in and see what you think, because it is proper weird. Let's go. That becomes significant later as well. Yeah, weird, huh? No idea. This is the underground power plant. And again, becomes really important later on in the game, but I'm not going to spoil it. Generally can't really do anything down here until a lot later on. Cue the weird music again. This is one of my favourite pieces of music in the game though, in the library. Alright, so there are some bits of the museum I can't actually show you at all because they are literally blocked by a puzzle, which I could do them, but again will take way too long. But basically, just so you're aware, once you've completed this puzzle, it takes you into the cinema, massive stage, loads of seats, and again it's creepy because you hear like flashbacks of when it was really busy and when there were people in there like watching a big show or like a big talk. You hear like the hustle and bustle of people while you're walking around it, but yet there's no one in there except you. So again, really, really freaky, but really cool. Like I remember when I first saw that, like, you know, I was like, yeah, it is proper freaky, but yeah, it really worked. I liked it. Now this is kind of completed by that page in Egyptian hieroglyphics explained, and you just match that with what's in the book, and then yeah, it opens up. Oh, and there is also a desk here. You know I said about them skulls, do you remember the skulls in that other room where they spin round and they all have a different colour? If you actually, you can't get in there at the moment, if you actually match them how it is in this pamphlet, then it opens up the final door. So you have to make sure at least 2 of them are blue, 2 of them are red, one's green and one's yellow. And you have to work out which room needs those. And it's not easy to work out as well, so. And then that door doesn't open. But can you guess what the other side of that door was? Yeah, got it? Yeah, exactly. When you first start the game and you're on the other side in the grounds, we tried that. We had the rainbows at the top to get into the museum in the first place. That's the other side of the door. Right, going up the stairs. That is your glass Ixupi, although by the sounds of it, it's not in there at the moment, but you'll get to it at some other points in the game when you'll hear it start to, you know, jingle jangle. The glass will start to give off the sound that the bits of glass are banging together. And then this takes us into kind of like I think this is like the curses room, or like just you got the Egyptian kind of hieroglyphics and the Sphinx, and the Sphinx actually is over here. But again, this is a puzzle that you can do by using one of the books that you've picked up that's in your flashback, which opens up that coffin there, gives you another part of a vessel. You can actually go further down into this bit as well. You can lift that off, but again, be careful because sometimes there's an Ixupi in there. You can hear it. You can hear the music. And you heard the noise there, like in the fireplace as well. I wonder if that would work in there, but I'm not going to chance it. And this is where all the Ixupi were originally. Hang on. There we go. This is where they all sat originally before they were released by Merrick and Beth. So there we go. And then up here is another puzzle. I won't do it now, but you have to rearrange all the shapes so that 3 marbles could get from those holes to those holes at the bottom by travelling through them, and all the lines would connect up. And that takes you sort of down to other rooms. There's a room that's got bongo drums and that kind of like tribal kind of feel. And then you get to the astrology room from there as well. That takes you to another part again. Again, there's some more skulls that you have to set to a certain colour. Shall we then just go into, this is like the back corridors, if you like. This is another door that you open by sorting out this puzzle. You have to rotate the pieces and sort of, you know, once you complete the puzzle, that opens up. It's actually got a fortune teller in it that has riddles that you have to solve. So that's that bit. That's where sometimes the wood Ixupi hides. It's not there at the moment. And if you carry on here, it takes you up the stairs, you can go up further. This takes you, this part through here takes you to an elevator, which can take you up through the floors. Again, nice music. In fact, this end here takes you into the astrology room, so you can get there from like lots of different parts. This is again nice music. Another puzzle, which again is done by looking at one of the books that you picked up, which I showed you earlier. You just match them by what's in the book. And then another part of the vessel opens up in there. There's also sometimes the electricity Ixupi that hides in there. And then this is like the same theme, but a bit kind of more relaxing. Again, one of the nicest pieces of music in the game. This is also one sort of vessel that you can't get at the start of the game because there's always something hiding, but it's actually covering up a vessel. So you might want to grab that, but you can't get it because you can hear it. So you can't quite get that to start with because as you click on it, the Ixupi will get you. And then basically, oh, hang on, same thing again. Freaky music. Again, wood Ixupi. You can hear that noise. There's one hiding in the snake. That Filofax that we saw earlier on, that I said about that drawing that said red door on it, there's a puzzle on the other side of that door that opens that up. So we go back through the astrology room. There's also a puzzle here that you have to do as well that gives you a part of a vessel. You just have to slot those into the right places so that all the wires connect up perfectly with the right colours. And again, that's not as easy as it looks. And then through here, this is like the horrible torture chamber. So it's got like a guillotine, it's got horrible, horrible, nasty torture devices that they would have used, you know, years and years ago to, you know, torture and just horrible things they used to do.